Hello guys, and welcome to a new WARNO video today by me, Vulcan. In this video I wanted to talk about and bring together all of the information we have on the WARNO Army General campaign so far. If you'd like to follow up on any of the information I'm sharing with you today, you can find the links to all my sources in the description. Starting back at September 16th, we had our first glimpse of a very work-in-progress map. Eugen described the Army General campaign as a strategic turn-based campaign mode and explained that they had already worked hard on setting up all of the units for the campaign starts, as well as the battalion compositions and order of battle. If you played Steel Division 2, a lot of this will sound familiar. Moving on to October 14th, we saw the vast improvements in visuals on the still work-in-progress campaign map, and in this developer blog they confirmed that single player, versus and co-op will be available, which is fantastic. Both sides will be fully playable. The campaign are based on large-scale operations, each map between 75 and 150 square kilometers, with historically set up units, and the order of battle will go down all the way to the platoon level. Each pawn on the map represents a battalion or equivalent strength battle group. There will be different types of battle groups, such as armoured, mechanised, artillery, and so on. The developer blog then starts to go into more detail, stating each turn can represent half a day, or a period of time, meaning some campaigns may have different scales or lengths. During a turn, each unit will have a set number of action points which you can use to carry out tasks such as move, attack, and use unit abilities, much like in Steel Division 2. Terrain will affect how far certain types of units can move. There will also be other things to do, like choose your reinforcements. If there is an attack, you may choose to auto-resolve it, or you can play it out like a tactical RTS battle. You decide which nearby reinforcements you would like to bring, assuming that they have action points left to join, and then the battle is played out. If you play it yourself, you can also choose to have the AI control some of your units in battle. It's important to note that losses are permanent, and therefore conserving units over the course of the campaign will be vital. Finally, for this blog, we are told that there will be 4 campaigns on release, with one specifically focusing in the Frankfurt region on the Fulda Gap offensive, where the US 11th Armoured Cavalry will be holding as long as they can against the wave of Soviet forces. The next information we had came on December 2nd, adding to the specifics of campaign locations. All 4 campaigns on release will focus on different sectors of West Germany and the inner German border, the Sentag area of operation. It goes on to reveal the second campaign, which will take place in the Kassel Paderborn area, which is further north than Fulda. It features clashes between East and West Germany, with paratroopers having a significant role. The blog also goes deeper into terrain, talking about how the strategic areas you see on the map and where your units are will correlate with the tactical RTS maps you fight on. They also give us a glimpse of all 4 campaign maps. From left to right, I believe we have the Fulda campaign, which shows the reserves between Marburg and Gießen. Then we have the Kassel Paderborn campaign, revealed in this blog. Then we are shown Korbach, so we have another axis near Kassel, maybe a counter-offensive sprung between the locations of the first 2. And finally, the last picture on the right shows Frankfurt and Hanau. This could be either a defend or attack the city operation, or potentially another counter-offensive. From December, things go a bit quiet on the campaign front, but on 17th of February, it was easy to miss a quick mention of the Army General maps. They confirmed that maps dependent on terrain will be picked based on an existing pool, but will be, quote, enjoyable, dynamic, and authentic. This led me to believe that they will be adjusting the maps specifically for certain scenarios in Army General. They won't just be carbon copies of the multiplayer maps. Finally, we arrive at March 3rd. The most recent update on Army General, which was also accompanied by the cool video I've been using clips of to illustrate what I'm talking about. Here we can really dive in. To start with, we are told that Eugen may be considering even more Army General content in the form of Army General snapshots, smaller campaigns that focus on more specific objectives. It sounds really great for those who may not have as much time to invest in the main campaigns. They also state they have a working version of the Fulda campaign, but would like time to add or change mechanics before they release it to the public. They start to detail what some of those changes are. The first being the battle plan. When 2 opposing units engage each other, the battle plan pops up, and each side selects which additional battalions they would like to bring to the battle. Unlike Steel Division 2, this is split between several roles. These are combat battalions, your frontline units such as tanks and infantry, you get 2 slots for these. Then artillery support, air support, and auxiliary support. Auxiliary being units that don't fit in the other categories, such as recon or engineers. Eugen are aiming that each battle should be fought with 3 to 4 battalions on average, whilst the bigger battles can have up to 5. They are also changing the way that aircraft work. Air squadrons in the campaign will only represent a small amount of their total strength, but retain it throughout the campaign. I think this means if they are shot down, they are replaced by reserves automatically. However, squadrons are not permanent like they were in Steel Division 2. They will be removed at the end of the turn, and you will have to then order more in based on the number of air missions available. This varies based on air superiority. This means you could choose to have A-10s on one turn and then F-16s the next. Finally, in this dev blog, they put a focus on strategic choices. Unlike Steel Division 2, where you could use currency to buy reinforcements of choice based on what was unlocked, WARNO simplifies this with timed reinforcements. Certain units will arrive in the campaign at certain times. You're probably thinking, doesn't that remove choice? Well, the choice comes again in the form of decisions. It could be which battalion you want at a specific moment. They give the example of a choice between a tank battalion on the flank or an airborne unit dropping in the rear. They also mention decisions regarding technologies like spy planes and sabotage. Maybe we'll even get to see tactical nukes. But let's now talk a little about the video. For the most part, it demonstrates a beautiful looking campaign map, with perspex covering detailed terrain and the units on pins sitting on top. It also shows off many of the mechanics I've talked about already. However, there is a couple of extra things I would like to point out. For example, on the UI, the silver number at the top of the unit card is its number of action points next to the type of unit. Underneath, it appears to show attack strength with a black background and defensive strength with a white background, used to help determine auto-resolve and strength of a unit at a glance. These numbers also appear that they can be modified. For example, this unit can be seen to have a bonus to its defense, most likely due to being dug in or inside the town. Another thing to look at is adding battalions to a battle sequentially adds deployment points and reinforcement points per minute. This number may look low compared to multiplayer, but units in the campaign cost considerably less to call in. For example, a tank could be 4 points, or an infantry squad with an APC would be 2 points. Just like in Steel Division 2, as you load into the tactical battle, you can still set up what you control, handing over some to the AI if needed. There is actually a really nice new feature here though, that allows you to choose more specifically where your deployment points and reinforcement points are allocated between yourself and the AI. Finally, let's talk about the tactical battle. In the video, we get confirmation that the maps in Army General will be different, at least in Conquest Sector layout, than other maps. We also see a new bar below the conquest points on the right. It looks like the game mode is going to be a hybrid between conquest and destruction. As units die, the bottom bar decreases relative to the cost of the unit that died, meaning you can now also win a battle by draining your opponent's units, assuming that they don't beat you first on conquest score, just like it looks like it's going to happen in the video. With that all covered, I mustn't forget a quick mention of operations. Operations are separate from the campaign, and are scripted missions or scenarios that will be tactical battles to be played out much like historical missions in Steel Division 2, except with more detail and dynamic events. With only one side being playable, these focus on specific battles set up in WARNO's fictional World War III. There are currently 10 planned for release, but if you would like more information on these, make sure to check the link in the description. And that's it, a summary of all of the information that I have for you so far. If I missed anything, or you have any speculations of your own, make sure to let me know in the comments. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.